Check. 1 2 1 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chatting Breeze, episode 22, I think. This week we have the return, ladies and gentlemen, the first returning guest on the podcast. But I mean, it's not really a very special one. It's only Longeez, only bloody Longeez. If you are a follower of the page, or if you have anything to do with the Bristol scene, you'll know about this tall, skinny man. He will have, at some point, probably popped up on your Instagram. You've probably got a lot of his tunes on your stick. Yeah, you know the deal. Good friend of mine. He came on, as I said, on the first episode, and we had a great time then, and we had a great time now, almost exactly a year later. I think we'll make this a recurring thing, almost like a bit of an annual review on the podcast. We chatted loads of stuff, everything from social media to, I can't actually remember, YouTube deep dives, that sort of thing, all that good stuff. What else? As always, this has been on the Patreon for an entire week, so if you want to catch up and stop being a loser, then head to patreon.com/Belters and join the Belters Club for just £5 a month. Putting some new stuff up on there soon, tunes-wise. A compilation that we got coming out at the start of May. I'm just waiting to get some masters back currently. So once they're back, they'll be up there for free download for everybody who's part of the Belters Club. And got a few ideas that I'm going to hopefully start doing soon as well, so stay tuned for that. Rate 5 on Spotify, give it a like on SoundCloud, like on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. All right, safe. Fucking funny. Mate, so good.
So good, I love that one.
He's one of those people where you can just like...
You just let him go?
I just have to sit back.
Yeah,
and
he's like, you know what he is like? Oh, he's great.
That was a good Sheffield accent.
That wasn't bad, like.
Come this way a bit more.
Okay.
Get close. Actually, I was going to change my t-shirt because I smell really bad, but...
I don't care.
Can you smell me?
No. I've been at work all day, mate. It's fine.
It's not smelly in the SWU FM office.
No, but it is sweaty.
Why is it sweaty in there?
I don't know. It's something to do with the aircon. It's like, I spend a lot of time in Studio 2 setting up for pre-records, and there's something about that room that is just like very little air movement.
Lovely.
It's good. Oh, it's a lovely studio, though. It's good.
The less air movement, the easier the blends, mate.
The better the Mackies sound, mate.
The better the Mackies.
The big monitors.
I think about like McDonald's.
I mean, I'm sure it tastes better in there as well. I'm sure it does.
Hello and welcome back to Chatting Breeze, everyone. You'll probably recognise this week's guest from being on the first ever episode of the podcast.
The first one, wasn't it?
And probably from every other time I poke my head up on anything, he's always following behind me.
We follow each other, I think.
Longeez, ladies and gentlemen, is back in the CBHQ. I've started calling it CBHQ.
What does that mean?
Chatting Breeze headquarters.
Ah, I like that.
I don't know if people get the
CBHQ
reference, but now you do.
Now you know it's this. We're in the HQ right now.
What's better, CBHQ or like CB Towers? I like Towers.
Towers is kind of hard, and it's kind of funny because we are in a tower.
Whoa.
We are in a tower.
Carry on talking. I'm just going to check it with some
very
focus.
long tower, tall tower. I'd say about 20, perhaps 30 stories, maybe. If you can find the aerial.
This is great because I don't even need to be prepped before I start, because with anyone else, I've got to pretend to be some sort of professional. But when you're here, I can just fucking turn it on and we can go.
That's the best bit. Yeah. Yeah, no fucking around, man.
So, Longeez is an up-and-coming garage producer.
I was waiting for this.
No, you were on like a year ago, nearly a year ago. I should have checked the date. Have you got your phone on you?
I have got my phone on me.
You should check the date because I'm pretty sure it was a year ago. It was either April or May. And
it was May.
Was it May?
Pretty sure it was May.
We're about a month behind.
We have talked about this before because I've actually been bugging him to come back on.
Bugging me or begging me?
Both.
Oh, yes.
Because the first time was really fun, and I feel like a lot's changed in a year.
I think it's nice because like so much does change in a year, like with the scene and like with music and with people's careers. I think it's nice to revisit things once every year, and I think because we do a lot of things like together and we sort of grow and develop sort of like not with each other, but like I'm very conscious of what you're doing
around each other. Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's helpful to sort of check in and sort of assess I suppose. Reevaluate. And then, set our goals moving forward.
Yeah. Set the expectations. Accordingly.
So basically, this time next year, expect the same thing, right?
Yeah, same thing. Only hopefully I'll have a couple more followers.
Yeah, well, yeah. You pretend not to recognise me this time next year.
Yeah,
but
like,
hey ho.
who the fuck is this guy? Yeah.
So rewind a year ago. Yeah. You were. I remember when we recorded the first episode. You were about to go and play at Loco for.
Yeah, fuck. Constitution, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was like some free party sound system crew. Yeah, and you played those bassline tunes.
That's right. It was Desolate. Desolate.
Was it Desolate?
It was pretty sure it was Desolate. Yeah.
It was some fucking crazy massive rig. I remember.
Yeah, I think when I was like between the two towers of speakers.
Mental,
yeah,
right?
it was Desolate and Silverback.
Put a photo there.
Yeah, right.
See, this is the powers of the green screen, mate. You didn't have that back when we were recording in Kafka Radio.
See, so much has changed.
Yeah.
So much changed. That's why I had to come. I wanted the green screen.
Come on.
That's why
also, what do you want? Actually, I'm not even going to... I know I'm going behind us.
You fucking
I already know.
Surprised me.
I already know what's going behind us.
I feel like I know, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to...
Say it.
No.
Okay, fine.
Surprise me. No. Surprise me.
Yeah, so you were playing that there, and thinking about that from now, fucking hell, a lot really has changed, hasn't it?
A lot, yeah.
I guess one of the first big things is the fact that you went full time pretty shortly after that.
Very shortly after. Yeah. I think that was.
It was like the start of summer, right? Because I know you had a lot of.
It was like July, maybe.
Or was it the end of summer? Because
no, because no, it was like halfway through summer, I think, because I ended up going to a load of festivals that I wouldn't have actually been able to go to,
right,
if I was working.
Right.
So that's kind of how I remember it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just been making it.
And you did
happen.
that. Did you do that because you hated your previous job, or because you wanted to pursue the music full time, or?
Both, I think. Yeah, I think more. I always wanted to try and pursue music as like my full-time thing.
Yeah,
that was always the goal. In a sense, it's like I just want to do this all the time, basically. And I did slowly just start to hate the job that I was doing as well. Like it was one of them where like you lose your job over lockdown, you need to get another job. So I got that. And
what were you doing before lockdown?
I sold clothes.
Oh yeah, you worked in
BS8.
Oh okay,
BS8. Yeah, shout out the BS8 crew if any of you are watching.
So it's interesting. Did you obviously at the time you must have felt like you were ready to make that step?
Yeah. I think as ready as I would ever be.
Yeah.
I don't really think there is necessarily like an ideal time to do it, especially at the stage I was in my career.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a bit of a 50-50, to be honest.
Certainly.
Yeah.
What made you think to take, what made you want to take the leap as opposed to playing it safe and maybe looking for another job? Or because I suppose there's probably like a lot of people out there that like obviously like I don't know about or you don't know about or whatever that are in similar situations to what you were in a year ago in terms of size, maybe in terms of, bookings, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What made you want to take the leap?
A couple reasons. I kind of could see my I could kind of see my like career and what I was doing actually kind of going somewhere a little bit more. Like I was starting to get a lot more bookings that I wanted. I might have just gotten an agent as well. I can't remember.
You had a few agents, right?
I've had a few, yeah, but I think that was the first like good one I had.
That's a good one.
So bad.
No, mate, you come on here to start some fucking trouble.
You know who the good ones are. you know who you are.
And you know who the bad ones are.
You know who the bad ones are. Yeah, I think it was a bit of that. Like I could see it going somewhere, and like I just felt like I was making like proper progress. So and like I had a couple like really rough weeks at work where I just really wasn't enjoying it, and it was sort of one of those like there's got to be more to life than this kind of things. Like I don't know, I did not want to just keep playing because I've been playing it safe for like a year at that point.
Yeah,
a year or two maybe. So there was never going to be an ideal time. So I just kind of decided that like that was it then. Like yeah, it did end up working out. Luckily, it's funny actually. I actually shout out my mum.
Come on.
I called Mumsy.
Mumsy.
And I mean, my parents are super supportive of it all.
Your parents are amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, I'll pick them up. They're pretty cool. And they were full on. Like, I think you just have to do it. Like, you're so unhappy clearly with what you're doing. Like, you probably fucking remember what I was like, because I lived with him at the time as well, and I was such a miserable fucker when I get home.
It was just rough, wasn't it? Like your hours were bleak, and then like you were still like, because you were out fucking like networking your fucking.
Oh my god, I was out every
bones
night. I don't know. Honestly, don't know how I survived that year.
I think there's a part of like that sort of like the the want to make it work becomes like a need to make it work, and your body almost just like ignores all these like.
I was on autopilot.
Yeah,
like I was like, this is the other thing. I was going into work on like 2 hours sleep every night. Like, and it wasn't even like I was going out and getting like super mashup or anything. I was literally just going to nights to like make friends, hear good music.
Yeah.
And just, just like meet like minds really. But it just, God, it's like, I don't know how I made it through. Like now I love sleeping. I love it. 8 hours, mate. Oh,
you're a wise old man.
I
now,
am
mate.
now, Christ.
You probably look. If we compare,
I probably look old. Actually,
in fact, I might just put the original episode as the backing visuals. That would be so fucking meta.
Yeah, no, genuinely. Oh yeah, right, yeah, do that. I had a mustache.
Yeah, you had a thick tash. Yeah,
I'm not getting it back, by the way. All the people who keep asking.
Yeah,
for
all
it.
you adoring fans.
Can I just say,
Longeez, bring back the mustache, please.
You'd be surprised. Honestly, like to justify this, like if you go out on a long night and you've been, smoking a vape, drinking a Maggie or something.
Woo! As one does.
Big ones. You wake up the next day with a big mustache. It tastes of everything you did the night before.
Oh, I thought that you were going to put a full.
Gross.
I thought you were going to say if you go out and drink a Magnum, you wake up the next day with a big mustache.
With a big
full
mustache.
stop.
I wish. Unfortunately, many have tried. Like, but yeah, bad.
So the mustache is not coming back.
No.
Stop asking.
Stop asking. It's mostly dudes who ask. That's the funniest bit.
Really? Come on. Well, people got respect for a big tash.
That's what it is, I think. Yeah. It was.
What were you pointing at just then?
Nothing. I was just doing. Just
okay.
doing this.
Yeah, mate. This is a
highly tuned setup.
Mate, one wrong move and this whole system goes down.
Fucking house burn. The tower, sorry.
Yeah.
The tower burns down.
My God, a house. Jesus Christ.
It's CB Towers.
So you went full time in let's call it July.
We'll say July, yeah.
And well, I mean, I remember it was very up and down for a while, right? I remember there were some good months and some like less than good months.
Less good months, yeah. I think like something that because I get a lot of people asking about this. It's kind of like a main reason why I want to talk about it is a lot of people want to do this and like not putting it down like it's been amazing. Like I have got to just make music almost every day and all this stuff, but you need to hustle like so hard. It's like as soon as you get past like the first month when that last paycheck comes in from your work and all that, the reality is suddenly like shit, like this is just me now. Like if I don't make music, if I don't reach out to people, if I don't just try side hustle, I don't make no money. But like
there's no one else that you're relying on for like your income then.
No, nothing. It's just you're just kind of relying on yourself. And like I'm very lucky that I have like shout out Yanis, shout out Kozzy, shout out anyone who's like kind of giving me some kind of work. So shout out Abby as well.
Yeah.
Like A for Alpha's like helped me out a lot. And yeah, I think that's a big key to it is just being open. You've got to be a bit of like a musical white van man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like odd job guy. Like you got to be ready just to do anything, whether it's like packing records or helping people with finances or whatever. Like there's just any route you do. So when people ask me, they're like, what do you actually do? I'm like, a bit of everything.
Yeah. Really. But you are still, it's all within that sort of space of being within like the underground within the scene.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's got to be like I only want to work with people that I know, and I also just rate what they do as well. Like I'm an opinionated guy on that subject. Authenticity is very important to me.
100%, and I think that's like one of the reasons that you found some sort of success in. Don't really know how to sort of phrase it. Whether it's that. whether it's that I think your audience resonates with you because because but the thing is, I wouldn't say you're outspoken because nothing that you say is ever like hugely controversial or like is blowing anyone's mind.
No,
do you know what I mean?
I'm just kind of echoing what a lot of other people think.
Right.
I mean, sometimes I might word it a bit stupidly.
That's just because you don't read good.
Because read no words. Yeah. Good. Would you believe I have a journalist?
Fucking hell.
Couldn't even say journalism degree. Can you believe it? But no, I don't know. I think my thing is like there's a lot of subjects that we all talk about in our little groups and everything, but they're actually just wider issues.
Yeah.
And like I don't really mind being the guy to just stick it out there and start the conversation. Like if some of you don't like it, then sorry.
Fuck you.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, like, because I don't know, especially with like a lot of the stuff around social media at the moment.
Right.
Because I saw Jordan did a post about this today, actually, that was really good. And just sort of highlighting that, like, you know, artists don't want to be content creators. Stop calling us content creators. Like, me personally, I fucking hate that. Like, I make tunes, I don't make content. Like, and I don't like that the two worlds are merging. It's like the industry wants one thing, but the artists want another. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But like, who's going to win in that scenario? Because like the industry has like fuckloads more resource.
Stranglehold as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think it differs between scenes as well, I think. But like,
in what sense?
I think some scenes are just more, I mean, like techno, for example, obviously it's super broad, but like there's parts of techno that are like very underground, they're like old heads, like very authenticity focused, and then there's like the super big hard techno, arguably bait if you're not into it,
business techno.
Business techno, yeah, it's a whole thing. And like I feel like most dance music genres have this. Like in garage you have
business
like,
garage.
You kind of do. Yeah, there's like business garage, but there's also like the kind of more like proto breaks, harder shit that is a bit more like early 2000s stuff. So like it's happening everywhere. Like no scene is safe from it. Like it's just the internet exists, so this stuff gets out there, and what comes with that is majors and management and blah blah blah.
What are your thoughts on all that? Because like there's gonna come a point where you have to sort of wrestle with that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's gonna come a point where, I mean, obviously it's already like in your peripherals in terms of the people that you're engaging with and things like that. But like if like a major was to approach you, like what would be your attitude towards that?
I'd be pretty reluctant to work with them at all, really. Like, I don't know, it has to be right. Like I said before, like I am actually genuinely only concerned with working with my mates and people I trust and people I've worked with in the past. Yeah. Like I actually don't give a fuck about working with like Universal or anyone like that. Here we
go. Now we're name dropping. They're going to get their fucking lawyers on my case now, bro.
Don't get me wrong though, like this shit can be beneficial. Like I think if it's navigated in the right way and the artist gets good representation and they get a lot of say over their art and the content that's around it and everything, and you know the manager really believes in what you do and is actually into the music, then yeah, cool. And like same goes for like brand partnerships as well. Like that can be super beneficial. And again, if it's navigated correctly and it's the right kind of people, then calm, whatever.
But it seems to rarely be.
It's all. I don't know. Like I could get very, very deep into it, but yeah, I think it has been beneficial, and like there are people that are using it correctly.
Yeah.
But it just feels a bit like there's all these very rich companies that didn't give a fuck about any of us until it actually started to get plays and make a little bit of money, and then the claws go in. Like I don't know. I hate that. That's just not why I got into it at all. Like,
of course, it's not why anyone got into it, though, is it?
Some people do.
Yeah,
some people do. And like for me, and like for a lot of the people I've talked to, it's like it's a hobby that's gone too far, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's how I like to view it. Is like this is something that I started doing because it was fun, and I just wanted to, make tunes that I wanted to hear. and just gets out of hand and suddenly becomes a career.
Yeah.
Like, but it will never be anything else to me, I don't think.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, obviously I take it a lot more seriously now, and I do, you know, I do want to kind of go the distance a little bit more, but in the back of my mind, it's always like, just remember what this started as.
Yeah.
Like, remember that this was just like a fun thing you used to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, I completely,
keeps it
I completely
pure,
do. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
How do you navigate like the landscape in terms of social media? Because, like, you know, I mean, we send each other a lot of shit on Instagram.
Yeah, our DMs are cursed.
Most of it not great.
No.
But like, how do you like remain conscious of that, and like, how do you avoid falling into those pitfalls that you and I see on a daily basis?
I think, I mean, you and me are like hyper aware of a lot of it. So I think already straight away, like,
You think we're hyper aware of it?
we're quite aware of it, I
Yeah.
think. At least we like to think we are. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're pretty onto it. And like, it's probably quite clear that I'm like a bit of a stubborn dude. Like,
Yeah.
and I know,
You're a bit of a diva.
Yeah. I know what I like. And that's it. Like, I will just work within that, really. And like, I've kind of tried to do like the hyper social media thing, like doing all the reels and all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and
You've
again,
got a few blends.
I've done a little
up
bit,
on
yeah. And I have
there.
my formulas, like,
But you've never done like a
like a come with me to my gig.
yeah.
Like, and
I'd love to see
not-
you do that. By the way,
I think I could be quite good.
I would
at it.
love to see you get ready with me.
Maybe I'll do
sort
like
of.
one. just to
You do one, it'll get like 10 million views, and
imagine
then
if
you'd
it
be
blew
hooked.
up. I'd be like, fuck, well, I have to do it
You'd
now.
be hooked, man.
That's the only reason I'm not doing it. It's because you know it'll blow up.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just not worth it.
Like,
Yeah.
Again, not knocking anyone who does that. Like, I get it. It's the game. Like, you have to do this. Like, and if you enjoy doing it, then sick. I wish I did as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I
yeah,
really
think
wish I
that's
got some
it.
enjoyment out of it because I just hate doing it.
Yeah.
I hate it. But yeah, I don't know. I just think I have a very clear way of how I like to do things and how I like to use social media. And I do still believe that you don't have to give in to what the machine wants you to do. Like, I still think you can go the distance and make a name for yourself without having to do what it seems like you have to do at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's more of a slow burn, right? It's less of like a instant explosion. But I think maybe
I prefer that though.
Yeah, I think it's maybe more rewarding.
Yeah, and I think, like, I've said this to you before, but like, I genuinely believe that, like, all DJs and producers, you have to do your time in the trenches, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to be playing to
Yeah.
nobody in small venues, like, because that's the shit that actually hardens you and
Yeah,
makes you
yeah,
good
yeah.
at it. Like, there are, like, there's instances where, like, really young kids who have not been doing it very long, they release, they're clearly talented, they get swept up, and then if they're not managed correctly, they just work them to death. And they're
Yeah.
suddenly like, right, here's 10,000 people play to this. You've never played to anyone
Yeah.
outside of a house party. Like, that's fucking wild to me. Like,
It is crazy how quickly the machine can turn you from like a fucking like
Innocent.
like a 19-year-old with like 20 SoundCloud followers.
yeah, to just like, poof, like, boom, like you're in Spotify playlist and everyone knows who you are.
It's
like,
mental.
It's mad pressure, bro. It's mad, like, especially when you're a kid and you're like, you can be very easily kind of swayed by stuff.
Or you just don't know. Do you know what I mean?
You just don't know. You don't know any different.
Yeah.
Like, and again, they're like lucky that like I do have good people around me who do that kind of stuff and like do it properly and actually kind of elevate people and teach them as they go as well. Like, that's a big part of it. I think if you're going to take a kid on and try and, fucking reach for the stars, at least teach them the game as you go.
Yeah.
Like-
Otherwise, you're just walking them over like a pit of alligators.
Yeah, they were walking them into getting shelved by a label, and then that's it. Like,
100%. So I wanted to chat about how your tastes have changed in the last year.
I'm a bit, yeah. a little bit.
Because last time we spoke, not while we spoke, but last time you were on the podcast, we only speak
Spoke
once
a year ago.
Yeah. Probably better that way, to be fair.
Yeah,
last time you were on the podcast, you wouldn't have laughed when I called you a garage producer.
No, I wouldn't. That's a good point.
Because I think Duppy and Leave had just come out, right? Or like you were just seeing this.
It was on the way. I think. Yeah, it was doing the rounds. I don't think the
play hadn't
record.
dropped.
No, the play hadn't dropped
Okay.
yet. But like people were playing it.
Yeah. So you were definitely still a garage producer because the A side of that play was a 2-step track.
It was
Check.
Yeah, and that one did all right as well.
Yeah. What happened?
Do you know what? I'm actually.
Wait. Let's get a second of silence. Okay, now this makes it easier for me to clip it in the post.
Right, nice, cool. See, professional. I got bored. I just got bored. There was like, I don't know, there's I think a lot of people seem to think that I hate it now. It's like, not even. I don't hate it. Like, there's still a lot of good stuff. I still listen to it. Like,
You still listen to garage?
a little, like the old stuff.
Don't lie, Longeez.
No, I do.
Don't pander to the.
I
Don't
found-
pander to
no,
the
no.
people.
There's a Dem 2 tune.
A Dem 2 tune.
Yeah, Dem 2 tune that I found recently. Actually, one man posted it on one of his like reels.
Yeah.
and that I've been listening to that because like that's actually a tune I've been looking for a really long
Right.
time. So that was quite cool. So like I come back to it to listen to.
Yep.
But making it, I just got bored. Like I was trying really hard to make more speed garage stuff and more 2-step, and I just wasn't enjoying it. And I wasn't unable to, and when I was, I'd make like a 32 bar loop and then just delete it. Which for me is like, the way I work is I start at if I sit in a studio, it's start to finish. Like I'm making a whole track there.
Yeah, you're
and then.
crazy. Like, yeah, your work.
Like I
crazy.
I hate leaving something half finished. I want to get it to at least 90%. So it was really getting me down, but I just couldn't make anything because I knew I could. And I think it was. I mean, you and me have been on like a bit of a journey with like similar sounds.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I think we synced up in that way. Where we both kind of
because we were mixing together like every day.
we were
right,
mixing
when
every
together.
day, yeah, and like I was in a real weird place musically. Like I just did not know. To be honest, like there's been times where I kind of thought about even just stopping because I just was like
Back to the bike shop.
back to the bike shop, yeah, straight back to Halfords, yeah, back to square one. 'Cause
Another name drop.
yeah, shout out Halfords. What did I say last time? I hate working for you.
Yeah.
Hated working for you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was in a weird spot, and then I went to. I was kind of. I talked about this a little bit before, but I was a metalhead when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, I've always been into like harder genres. And then I went to Secret Garden Party.
Yeah. You did talk about this before.
Didn't I? Yeah, and then I saw A for Alpha playing a hard house set, and it just like flipped my fucking brain upside down. I was like, this is sick. This is everything I'm looking for. And that just set me off on a path then, really. And then I figured out how to make it. And then from there, I got into hard groove as well. I can't really remember where that came. I think that was you actually.
I started getting pushed to me.
You found Dylan Fogarty before I did. And you were like, I'm struggling to find hard house stuff, but I found this hard groove stuff.
Yeah.
And then that really got something going in my head because I've always liked techno.
Yeah.
I like high BPMs and groove, and it
Yeah.
just had all of that. So yeah, it was just like a chain reaction of like feeling lost in music, finding a genre and finding another genre, and it just feeds into it, and this just built up to what I'm doing now.
When you say you got bored of it, were you bored of producing it, or were you bored of like it as a whole in terms of
Bit of both.
like because like even from when I first got into the scene like 3 years ago, right? Things have changed so dramatically. Like when I first got into the scene, like Times Now were like one of like the super underground labels.
They were like up there,
and they were like really championing like that side of things for like the sort of dark garage stuff, and no one else was really doing it.
It was
in
like
that way.
them and EC2A.
That was the start of the James from Leeds like cartoon illustration on a white label.
Yeah, the meme. Like,
you know.
And then you had Warehouse Rave as well. Like
Sure,
they
yeah.
put out a lot of Interplanetaries, like earlier two-steppy stuff. So yeah, I think it was Speed Garage. I think Speed Garage was the turning point.
Speed Garage was the nail in the coffin.
But I don't know. I'm
is
trying
that
to figure out how
wrong?
to word this.
Yeah.
Like it. I think it's a very moldable sound. I think Speed Garage, like it's some very basic elements that can actually be morphed into like an edit or a bootleg or an original very easily.
Sure.
Because there's such a template to it.
Yeah.
And I think that just got wildly, it just, so much of it came out like
The same.
the same. Yeah. Like a lot of it is super samey to me. Like
There's a formula for it right
there's
now.
such
I
a
think.
formula. Yeah.
And like it's still such like an interesting genre, and it can be like so euphoric, and it can be like so dark, and it can be, you know, whatever. But I think that there's, you know, a lot of you know, some people have seen like really great success with it, and then there's a lot of
big up
people.
if you have,
of
like-
course, yeah. But then there's a lot of people that see that and think that they have to do the exact same thing to get that same level of success.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's a like people, it kind of comes back to the social media thing again of like people see how some people get successful and they just copy that formula, which is like in some ways fair because you are just like, you're seeing that and going, that works, so I'm going to do it. But then that does not encourage originality.
And that's not how you gain like an audience, because people aren't going to go to you because you're doing the same thing as the other guy, because they'll just go to the other guy that's been
because the other
doing it
guy's already
before.
bigger and doing it like already, like exactly. So like you're better off trying to just do something a bit different. I also think like trying too hard to be different as well. There's something to be said for that, like because then you are more likely to like make fucking bad music, to be honest. Like
In what sense? Trying too hard to be different? Oh,
well, like if you try and like, I don't know, you want to separate yourself from the pack so badly that like that's all you're thinking about when you're producing tunes. And I think producing is, despite it being a very software driven, like actually rigid thing, like it is a lot of, it sounds wanky, but it is like a lot of feeling and just like in the moment, just like chucking a sound and just going with it. Whereas like if you go in with like, God, I need to make something like mad and different and like I need to stand out, like it rarely actually works. Like I think the least pressure you put on yourself to make something, the better the results will be.
Yeah.
And over time, the more you do that, the more your sound will develop. And like in the end, you'll end up making some really cool different music without even really meaning to. You just do it. Like it just becomes a bit of an instinct, I guess.
Can you remember when you decided you were going to make the switch genre-wise? Because you are pretty like not like hard line on it is the wrong word, but you have drawn that line in the sand now, I think, and you've said,
Yeah.
I mean, you have.
I've been memed. Yeah.
You.
I've got to bring it up.
I mean, we might as well.
I've got to bring it up.
So-
Yeah. Shout UK Garage Intellectuals.
Yeah, so you posted the original.
I'm joking.
I'm not even gonna need to clip this. They're gonna clip this now.
clip it. Yeah.
You posted a story,
I did. Yeah.
and what was the general gist of it?
I just was like, straight up, should not have posted it. Like, I know that. It was so.
Just gonna preface.
Yeah, I'm just gonna preface that now. I like that's a shower thought. Like,
Okay,
I
yeah.
think about it regularly. Like,
One of them was like,
and all my mates have said, like, bro, why'd you do that? And like, it's so true. But
Yeah,
like,
you do get rinsed for it.
I do get rinsed out, and rightly so as well. Like, I shouldn't have done it. But I just was like, it's difficult when you're pursuing something completely different, and the stuff that you're getting sent it's not necessarily bad music or anything. It's just I'm just not going to play it, and I don't want to. In my head, it was sort of me saying, I don't want to waste all these producers' time by them sending me stuff expecting me to play it, because I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it. And it's like, it was never me saying that like all your tunes are shy or something. Not like that at all. I'm just not going to play any of them. Like, I'm playing very different stuff. Like, and I'm very grateful that I get sent music at all.
Of course.
Like that's an insane thing that I never thought would happen. And I generally thank everybody, no matter what you send me, for sending me stuff, because I do really appreciate it. But yeah, I just like, it's just, don't send me garage because I just won't play it. Like that's basically all I meant by it.
And this meme page.
You know you are.
We've already said their name 3 times.
I have, yeah. Once.
Okay, anyway, they the other day they reposted it. And we're like, oh, everybody
send Longeez
keep
garage.
sending Longeez garage.
And they did. Thing is, it was memey, but like,
you took the bait, man.
I did take the bait.
I'm gonna say it right now.
I did take the bait. No, I really did take the bait. Yeah, I saw Introspect recently, and it was the first thing she said to me was like, "You got memed as well," because she got hit by them as well.
Really?
Do you not see it?
No.
Because she did a post just similar to me.
Really?
Like obviously
But
they're
she
still
still
playing
plays-
garage
yeah.
stuff, but like they just didn't like what they were getting sent basically.
Right.
And like were vocal about it, and then that page memed them. Yo, you lot gotta watch out. If you keep memeing people, you're gonna meme the wrong person.
You're going to have no friends left, UK Garage Intellectuals.
You're gonna have no mandem.
Because I saw they did a similar thing to Protein Sound like recently, and he took it well. So
He did. Took it better than I did.
Yeah. This is all I'm saying.
I was fuming when I first saw it, and then I think I chatted to you, and you were just like, just think about it for a second, and then I was all right. Like it was just not what I expected to wake up to in the morning.
Because there's been a couple of times where that's happened to other DJs.
Yeah,
and we've looked at it and thought, oh, he looks like a right idiot getting angry there in the comments.
Here I am. I didn't think I was angry in the comments. I think I actually like.
I think you did say something sort of like passive aggressive,
A bit like,
which is like almost worse than just like getting really angry.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah.
But you're a keyboard warrior.
I am a
it's in your
keyboard warrior.
blood. It's in your blood.
I love commenting.
It runs
on
through
shit.
your veins.
I love commenting.
I love going on like weird YouTube rabbit holes and seeing you in the comment section. Like, right, I know I'm in the right place
Yeah,
now.
you know it's gonna be good.
Like Tim
Davis
Clark.
That one's still going.
What the Davis Clark?
So
beef?
what did I say? I just said like, why do all Americans love screaming "Let's go"?
Yeah,
and it's gotten like 1,000 likes and so many comments. Like they started off nice, and then like people like one guy just saying like, "Why do you have a butt chin?" I'm like, yeah, fair point, mate. Fair point. Why do I have a butt chin? One guy was like, because we beat you in the war. It's like, yes, the war between the UK and the America, like that we all know about. Yeah.
I think he means the Civil War, right?
I think he must be a fucking while ago, a little while ago, mate. And like, fair play.
I mean, to be honest, I'm glad
Tapped into history.
I'm glad they beat us in that Civil War, right? Because we were sort of fighting on the side of the,
yeah, we have a bit of a track record.
Yeah. Anyway,
This is not a politics podcast or history podcast. But yeah, I got memed. I deserved it. But yeah.
end of story.
End of story, really. Won't be doing that again.
So your productions since then, do you find? I mean, I already know the answers to this. That they're improving in terms of your sound. Like, do you have like a sort of a place you're trying to get to with your sound?
Good question. I'm not sure, really. I mean, I've definitely improved, especially over the last year. Obviously, when you have as much time as I have to make stuff, you do just naturally get quite good at it.
So you make tunes like every day, would you say?
I did. Obviously not now, because I've just started a job, actually, ironically.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. But yeah, I pretty much make a tune, sometimes 2 a day.
That's fucking like some people would like hear that and be like, how the fuck?
I don't know. I've always worked fast.
Yeah.
Like, again, come from hip hop, which is like has an emphasis on making stuff quickly. So I just have like and I am also like a bit scatty like that. Like I do just like, I don't like waiting around. I'm not much of a purist when it comes to like the kind of sounds I use. Like I want to make tunes. You know what I mean? I'm not here to make sounds. I'm here to make tunes.
Yeah.
I think, technically speaking, sound has improved a lot. I think, God, you heard my mix downs a year ago.
Yeah, that's actually so true.
Sorry to any label I've released on. And just being less, because of this sound change, I felt a sense of kind of liberation that I could just like experiment wildly and just make whatever I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it was such a self-imposed limit I put on myself before that, because like what was actually stopping me from doing that? Like nothing really.
Of course.
I could have done that before. But because I had that mindset, I did just push it. And then like I guess that's kind of how like drum workouts came about, because it was just me like I'd known about the Speed Dembo stuff, went and saw, shout out Amos and Sumata.
Yeah, huge.
The Kings. I went and saw them at the Island, and it just flipped my brain upside down. It was just so good. And I think I made that EP within a week after going to that.
That was probably one of your first, because I didn't forget about that release, but I forgot how important that was to your sort of sonic development.
Oh God, yeah, massively.
That was one of the first releases that you put out under a very different sound that wasn't like a self-release, right?
Yeah, and it was like, besides maybe, obviously the Canopy record, the first ones did well as well, considering how early on that was and what I was doing.
Which Canopy one?
Illicit Material.
Illicit Material.
The OG.
Oh, yeah.
That was the
Sure.
first record I ever put
Yeah.
out. But the drum workouts one, firstly, it happened really naturally. Like, yeah, people who follow me know that, like, if I make tunes, I'll generally post it to my story.
No shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing.
Active.
And man's active. And, like, I'd post them and Cosworth would just reply to the stories he liked and just be like, yeah, I'm having that. So there was never any, like, weird...
I do that all the time. You tell me no.
no comment.
I'm not Cosy. I'm not
Yeah.
Cosy.
Unfortunately, you don't run hardline.
Yet.
But yet, yeah. Watch out, Cosy. Yeah, and it just happened really naturally. And like, I never felt, because of the way it happened, there was never any pressure to make the tunes because I was just making them anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just kind of happened like that. And I was in a very like experimental mode. I was like, oh, what if Dembo but 150 with a donk instead? Like, it just made complete sense in my head.
And
like,
you call it Donkbo because you're just
I'm
a
super
lyrical
original.
genius.
Yeah, because I'm super original, mad imaginative. And yeah, I mean that EP, I did also like when it all came together, I knew it was like, this is gonna be the one that's like, this is what I'm after nowadays. Like, is like that sort of stuff. And it like it's done way
It's
better.
done so well, right?
Fucking hell, like so much better than I ever thought it would.
Got spun at Unfold the other day,
got
right?
a couple 2 tunes from that. Got spun at Fold. Donkbo's all over the fucking place. He gets played by like shout out Techie.
Really?
Yeah, shout out Techie Latex. Like huge supporter. He loves it. Like he also sent me some really cool music recently.
Yeah, you told me about that actually. Yeah,
Big up
yeah.
Techie. And yeah, just like the support and like because of those tunes, I've like managed to start chatting to people like Jordan and Sue Matter and Amos Tier as well. Like they love the EP, which for me was like, I could quit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so sick. And like, so yeah, it's just, that's really like done more for me than I ever thought it would. And it's just motivated me to like do more and like weird shit like that.
Which is funny because like none of those tunes, obviously it was Stambo and whatever, but none of those tunes I would say are hard groove or hard house tracks.
Besides maybe Less Ordinary.
Right, yeah.
Less Ordinary is kind of groove, I suppose,
That's
but
a
like the
groove
rest of
track.
them are like speed dembo, kind of weird subgenre thing.
Have you had many? I'm trying to think now. More releases that are under that sort of groove, hard house umbrella.
Mostly self-releases, to be honest.
Yeah, you've been caning the self.
I've been hitting the self-releases. It's not something I was ever very good at before. When I was doing garage, I did speed bumps,
Yeah,
which was fun, and I actually still really like those tunes.
Yeah. Red Rackham used it on the background for the Howard program thing.
Big up Red Rackham. But I think with the self-release thing, again, like shout out Cozzy, he actually kind of taught me how to do it, like the system to it and how to do it properly, and like just help me out with like
What is the system to it? How do you do it
I
properly?
do not want to say it on camera because he'll hate me. He will hate me.
You got to teach me then.
No, I'll teach you, but off camera. Sorry, everybody.
Imagine you just fucking destroy the plan.
Destroy the hardline empire. No, I won't out the secrets. There isn't things. It's not even like there is any secrets. It's just knowing how to market your shit properly.
Yeah.
And like art super important. Like pricing, tune order, like all this stuff comes into it, and also just confidence. Like I think you meet a lot of people who are like amazing producers, but they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to put stuff out yet, or whether it's like. I know it's difficult. I've been there. Like, I've been there when you kind of hate your own stuff, even though it is good and you've got people around you saying it's good. Just put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, you're really not going to know until you just take that plunge. And it's never as deep as you think it's going to be.
Yeah,
now I'm on a bit of a roll with it. I'm really enjoying it. I love the fact that I can control it all. Yeah, it's just been really good. And like, again, reception's been unreal, especially the last one I did. That's like the best self-release I've ever done, both in terms of like the reception and, in my opinion, the quality of tunes.
Yeah.
Is really good. Yeah. And I can, because like not many places release hard house. Really. Like, name me like a modern hard house label.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Can't
you are
really.
right.
Like, there are like some of the older ones are still kicking about, but I think it's in a bit of a weird like identity at the moment. I don't really know how to word it.
The state of it is strange, right? Because like it's
because it's out there.
It's out there.
People are
and
making
like,
it.
It is kind of seeing a little bit of a comeback.
I think it's getting there. I still think it's early days. Like, because I mean, like the new age trance sound, like that kind of daddy trance Malugi shit is all like...
It's all rooted in that, right?
It's all quite hard. It's more hard house and trance, I'd say.
Yeah.
A lot of it, like, especially in terms of tempo, it's a lot more... like akin to hard house than it is trance. But then hard house is like, it's so easy for it to just be hard trance as well.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like about it so much as well, is because you do just get all these genres that just melt into it. So it means sets can be super diverse.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and as a DJ, that's great fun, because then you can kind of keep crowd guessing, keep yourself guessing.
Yeah.
And like, I think that was another thing with like why I got bored of garage as well, is like, I love mixing. Like, I love mixing, and I love the technique and the art form of it. And garage, although you can do like multiple deck blends, like, but obviously people like Nefer, he doesn't really play garage so much. It's kind of more grime and techno stuff. Yeah. But again, with like techno, less so hard house, but more techno, it really lends itself to like techie mixing. And I got bored of doing the like play one tune, drop, play another tune, drop. Like, I want to like get more decks.
Yeah, you've been enjoying the 4-day.
Love it, man. I love trying to scare myself. Like, when you've been doing it for a long time, I'm sure like other heads will say the same thing. When you've been doing it for so long, you do get to a point where you're like, I kind of want to just see where I can go with this, and just try and push the boat out a little bit. And like, you know, if you're playing out for the first time with like 4 decks and you fuck it up, like, fuck it, at least you tried.
Yeah.
Like,
there's some mental fuckers out there that are doing the 4-deck blends.
Mad. Yeah. And it's seeing shit like that that's like obviously Nefer is a big one. And then like the techno-y guys like Funk Assault.
Yeah, well, I'm talking like those sort of guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what you're like. That is something that I would love to do. Like, I like that 2 mixer.
Oh my God.
Is it 6 CDJs, 2 mixers?
Oh my God.
I want to do that so badly. Like, if anyone's out there that happens to have 2 mixers and 6 CDJs,
oh my God,
let's link, because I'd love that. Just looks like the most fun to me.
How long do you reckon that would take to get like
good at? I think for those guys, they've been doing it individually for so long, and like I've watched a lot. They're like Alarico and Schler are like mad inspiring for me, and just like in terms of production and DJing, and like it was very natural for them. Like, they kind of became friends very quickly, and it just sort of worked. Like, I think a set like that, you can't. It's hard to like practice it and plan it and all that stuff. It's got to be spontaneous, and you've got to be with someone.
You don't think there's much planning that goes into those sort of things?
I bet you there isn't. I bet you they don't plan very much, because like you're playing for like those dudes will go for like 7 hours.
That's fucked up.
Like, and there's 2 of them.
We used to mix for a while, but
yeah,
Jesus
I mean
Christ.
we've done like 5-hour stints. Like, yeah, I mean you and me have done a couple all-nighters.
Yeah.
It's like a boxing. It's like we're fighting. Like, at the end of any set, because we just like, it's completely off subject. But when me and Miles mix together, it is like a boxing match. Like, we're just trying to throw each other in the bus.
It's like, what have
constantly.
you got? What have you got?
Oh, you played that. Fuck you. I'm playing this. And by the end of it, I am non-verbal, mate. I
can't explain how fucking beaten up I am.
After Leeds.
Oh my God.
Could not talk to anybody. Shout out Chocky Bicky, obviously.
Yeah. Was that? Yeah, that would have been after the last time we spoke, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was.
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
definitely.
That was mental.
That was nuts.
We did. Was it 2 hours?
2.5, I think. We ended up playing for a bit longer. And good God.
My God. the crowd, the tunes, the technicals.
Oh, the technicals. I completely forgot about that. How do we even explain that?
What was it? I think
so. The channels. So on the shout Old Red Bus Station.
Shout out Old Red Bus Station
Get a
and
new
your
mixer.
shitty tech.
Get a new mixer. One of the channels just stopped working completely. No audio.
Like as soon as we started.
As soon as we started, yeah, and we were like headliney closing.
Yeah.
So then we had to put one of the CDJs. So the left CDJ was into the right channel, and the right CDJ was in the left. So it was so
I
confusing.
forgot about that.
And there was like, obviously, there was no way we could have kept that up.
The amount of times that I like dropped, thinking I was dropping out
my God.
channel 1, I dropped out channel 4.
In it. So in the end, I just said to Miles, like, you get on mic and distract them, and I will switch the CDJs.
Oh my God.
And I'm so glad we did.
Yeah, of course. But it was a moment there where all the music cut out. And
It could have been fucked.
yeah, I think we got a couple of boos.
We did, yeah, but then for
we
the
fought them off. We
fought them off, yeah. And then as soon as the tunes came back, and it was like, woo, like. But yeah, that was touch and go, like.
But yeah, no. After that set, I was
dead.
so sweaty.
Yeah.
I was so fucking beat.
It's like one of them where like people are coming up to you saying how good it was, and you want to be able to say like, thank you so much, but I'm just like,
I need to get outside.
on the mixer, like,
Yeah, I need to get outside right now.
I'm dying. Yeah.
Playing up north's always fun though, right?
My favourite.
Yeah.
My favourite.
Yeah, I've had a couple of good ones there recently, right?
Yeah, really good. Mostly like Sheffield. I have to shout out Big Fat Rave.
Of course, every time.
You've met them boys. Like they're like some of my favourite promoters to play for. Like the parties are just done right.
Yeah.
Last one was with Supersonic Booty Bangers as well. Shout out Sambo and all the crew.
Yeah.
And that one was like, not gonna lie, I hadn't been that nervous for a set in a long time.
The venue was huge, right?
Massive, Forge, unreal venue.
Yeah.
And like I was closing after the most heavyweight lineup.
After, was it Sambo and Manny Dexterous?
So it was it Syntax, Tim Reaper, Mandy Dexterous, Samurai Breaks, then me. So I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do?
Play a bit two-step, maybe?
Yeah, you know, start off a prog, like, well, maybe some Bruck stuff. Like,
Yeah, nice, bit of broken beat, yeah. just cool everything down.
That would have done it, yeah. But no, it went so good, and like I've been really blessed with like the shows I've got to play up there. Like shout the northern crowds, I fucking love you all. Like you always pull up. And
They seem to, don't they?
God, and they just have it.
Yeah.
Like they just fucking have it.
Why is
Rate
that?
it. I don't know. I think the attitude towards going out is different.
Yeah.
Like I think it's always been a bit more of a culture to like take going out a little bit more seriously, I suppose. Like, and obviously, like, you know, when you like traditionally working class cities, escapism is a big part of it.
Yeah.
So like coming from a working class background, like my dad would always like, he was like a mad punk and stuff back in the day. And it was mostly like an escapism thing because like it just shit wasn't great around them. So they had all these different subcultures and stuff, and like they took music super seriously, but then would make quite fun, energetic music because it was part of like the escapism part of it.
But what I don't get about that is like of course that makes complete sense, but like shit isn't great now wherever you go.
No.
And
God.
but I do still feel like there is something lacking in a lot of crowds. In a lot of places.
I kind of agree. I think it depends where you go. Bristol, you got to pick your fucking act up, mate. Like, because I don't know what it is.
That's getting clipped as well. My God.
Yeah, definitely clip that. I don't know what it is. Like, I think TikTok has a big part of it. We've talked about this before, where like a lot of tunes, people only know like the 5 to 10 second drop of it. Like,
yeah.
You never hear the rest of the tune.
They know the clip that they see the DJ playing.
So
Yeah.
younger generations do want that kind of like quick, like bang, next thing, bang, next thing, bang, next thing. And like with certain genres, like, you know, more traditional house music, techno stuff that's a lot more progressive and like gradual, not as droppy.
Yeah.
That shit just doesn't work as well in certain places. Like obviously go to Europe or something, it's a bit different. It's a bit more of like a culture there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just more expected. That's what the music's going to be like. But I think the UK in particular it is really caught up in that.
Like, why us? Why the UK? Because you've always had like such a strong history of raving and of you know, rave music.
And I think we still do. And obviously there's like the free party shit is still there. Like that's still going. Like, and there are dancers and people that are doing it properly. Like Fold actually is a really good example of that. Because that is like a, you know, no phones, pure kind of dance, like a proper club. So they are still out there, but I generally do just put it down to like, I think us in America, and Australia, we're hit really hard by social media, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's like such a massive part of our society and how we do things and market ourselves that has had a knock-on effect on the dancers.
You don't think it's quite as big in like Western Europe?
Doesn't seem to be. I mean, from my perspective anyway, from playing there a couple times, the crowds just are always mad up for it. Like, people are just super receptive to new music.
Do you notice like less phones and things?
Yeah,
or?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rotterdam, I didn't see a single phone.
Really?
Like,
That's so interesting.
like one or two of people getting like the odd video,
Yeah.
but no one's there like DMing their boy or whatever. Like people are just like in it, and that's what I've always been like. Like I've always been very like, if I go to something I really want to go to, expect me not to talk to you for 4 hours because I'm just going to want to dance.
Yeah, you'll
Like,
dance and you'll lean up against the wall and just sort of stand behind DJ and nod your head.
rude. Yeah. What are you doing there? You might want to jog that a little bit more.
We've been there, yeah. We've all been there.
Clip.
So, yeah, you mentioned that you've just started a new job recently.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide to, well, I guess look for work after being full-time for, I guess, nearly a year?
After doing it for a year, you realize how difficult it is. Like, I don't have management or anything. Like, it's always just been kind of me doing my thing. I'm very lucky. I have a really good agent, and like that's helped a lot. Shout out CJ.
Yeah.
But it's hard, man, especially at the moment. Like, I started doing this just as costs started to go up, and like my solo journey in music has kind of correlated with cost of living crisis going up. So my timing was fucked. Like, and it's, yeah, like, although I would make ends meet, and that is all I was doing, was making ends meet. Like, and yeah, I was loving what I was doing, but also making tunes every day without really any kind of necessary, I don't want to say no purpose. It starts to feel like that though. Because you're just doing it every day. And it's up to you to do that routine.
Yeah.
And like, it's very easy to slip out of it. It's very
100%.
easy. Yeah. And like, I'm a bit of an OCD boy. Like I actually do really like my routines. So it was a combination of like money and just needing a switch up in my life really. And obviously I wanted to get a job in music, which I've luckily managed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the main reason. Just sanity.
It's interesting because obviously when I had Fraser Ray on a few weeks back, and he had a similar thing where he went full time for a bit, and then I think for him he was sort of saw that his sound was changing to a more like commercial one.
That too. I don't think I ever so much went
I was
commercial.
Going to say I wouldn't have thought that.
I
about
can't
your
really
sound.
do commercial.
Well, no,
like,
yeah.
I'm a bit shit at chords, isn't it?
Not the only thing you shout at, mate.
Yeah, no, come on. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think, but I think I started to notice the quality of my music lacking a little bit.
Were you thinking more about the fact that, okay, I'm making something to be released rather than I'm making something just to make something?
More, yeah. I always like, I'd get really angry at myself if I didn't make something in a day. Like if I didn't make a whole tune, I'd be like, you fucked it. Like that's a day wasted. Like, which is so dumb. Like
it is, yeah, it's
super dumb.
Stupid,
like because in that coincides with it just stopping being fun.
Yeah,
I think that was a bigger part of it for me. Is it wasn't necessarily that I was starting to get commercial or something. It's just I just wasn't actually. I was starting to not enjoy it.
Yeah,
and for me that was like that's a red flag. Like I've always loved doing this. This has been like. This is like all my life is. So like the idea of hating the thing that I love is like, nah, like something needs to change.
And I think that when, you know, if you have a slow couple of months and maybe
that's depressing.
It's so depressing and it has a knock-on effect on everything, right? Your creativity, your output.
Yeah, you have a shit month where you don't have any gigs or something, or you have minimal gigs.
Yeah.
Like you haven't got any money because you haven't done any gigs. So then you end up taking gigs that you don't want.
Yeah. Eating shit food.
Eating shit
You know,
food. Like fucking not buying new clothes or anything. Like you're literally just existing. And I feel like this is important to talk about because a lot of people do want to do it. And I've had a lot of people say like, how do you do it? Like, I want to do it. Like, not deterring anyone from necessarily trying it. Like, you know, your mileage may vary. But I'm just telling you how it is. Like, if you're going to do it, it's hard. It's graft.
Yeah.
You got to put graft in and be prepared for some shit months.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, like, I mean, like in our society, you're fucking like 10 quid away from being homeless. You know?
And
like,
you are purely valued and like your life experience is purely based on like how much money you make,
exactly.
right? There is really no other factor that determines your overall quality of life.
Actually isn't.
In this country anyway, like in other countries there are forces outside of your control. Maybe so there are here as well, but in terms of you and your existence, right?
Yeah, it is like monetary value. Unfortunately, in the shitty system that we exist in, is like a huge part of it. And even if you try and avoid that and like think like, you know, it's not about that, which I know it's not, it still gets on top of you.
You have no choice but to obey the dollar, my friend.
Bruv, you're at the mercy of the dollar. Like, you just have to do it. Like, and it was never about making money either. Obviously, it's nice. You want it to be a career.
Yeah.
But it was when it becomes about like, I need to take that gig because I need the money to pay my rent. That's shit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that.
But you're in a better place with it now.
Much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, much better. Like I've lucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, massively.
So going forward, what do you see? I guess the summer looking like. What are your summer predictions, Longeez? Because then we can revisit this bit next year.
Exactly. Then we can.
In fact, give us your predictions for the next year.
For the next year.
Yeah. What's going to happen when we come back next April? What are going to be the talking points?
What's going to change?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I think I would like us to be sat here talking, saying that like. Hard House did actually blow up then, didn't it? We were right. Like, and I do still believe that. I do really believe that this sound has like mad potential.
Yeah.
And like, I just want to make sure people get it right. Like, because I cannot stress enough how much I love that sound and that genre. Like, it's like huge to me.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to be fucked with
bastardized.
Yeah, I don't want it. Like, I'm very like, it's very, very apparent in the music that I make, but like if I go to try and make a style of music, I don't want to necessarily reinvent the wheel. I want it to sound like it's come from a fucking, you know, trade CD.
Yeah.
Or something. Like, that's what I'm after.
And been recorded on a Nokia brick phone and then played
and then
through
Bluetooth to 5 different people. Yeah, that's what I'm after. Yeah, and like, I'd love to sit here and say that. Like, and do you know? I don't know. Like,
okay, give me two more.
Thing is, though, I think the industry that we're in is so volatile and moving so quickly now. It's so hard to think.
What a boring answer.
I know it's boring, but it's
Give me something fun. Give me two more. You got it. You can find it.
I tell you what I would like. I like, you know, like Bangface style raves.
Yeah.
That are like big, silly, everyone dresses up. I want that to be more of a thing.
Like
again.
Weekenders.
Yeah. And like, you know,
right,
like
Weekenders coming back.
Weekenders, big ones. Like I love those old, like, you look back to those like late 90s, early 2000 rave DVDs.
Yeah.
Where people are just like, pinged off their nut and they're like
Tidy Weekenders, mate.
Tidy Weekenders, and they're
mental.
just dressed to the nines, and people have put like actual effort into going out.
If you've not watched any of the Tidy Weekender,
oh my god, they're a little bit
DVDs,
cursed in places.
They're incredible. They are absolutely mental. I so recommend.
I actually would, yeah.
Unless you're my employer or my parents, don't.
Yeah,
but
my parents, you watch it, you probably get it. But I'm pretty sure I've showed my parents.
Yeah, I'm sure,
so.
Whatever. Okay, so Hard House is gonna come back
in a big
Weekenders are gonna come back,
hopefully. Yeah.
And what else?
Do you know what I think is? I think festivals are in a really interesting, slightly worrying spot at the moment. And I don't think we'll necessarily, I don't want to say we'll be sat here saying like, oh, festival got way better or way worse. I think that's what's going to be interesting, is seeing how this summer plays out, because like that's a huge crisis at the moment. Like, was it something like 75 festivals that were running last year have cancelled this year?
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's going to be very intriguing next time we do this, like looking back on the summer that we've just had, like, what's it going to be like? Is it going to be more festivals, or is, obviously it all relies on, again, cost of living.
Exactly. Yeah,
as
that's
well.
the problem,
so
isn't it?
like that's a whole thing. But yeah, I think that's going to be, I couldn't give you an answer on that. I don't really know where that's going to go. I'd obviously love to hope that it recovers and festivals grow and, you know, everyone gets the bookings that they need and blah, blah, blah. But fuck knows. No idea. Like,
I was gonna say that's not good enough, but I'll let you have it. I
tried to make it poetic at least.
Longeez, thank you very much. Anything else?
Nah. Well, nah, not really. I guess
You don't have to.
No, I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, shout out Belters.
Oh yeah, get your shout outs.
I'll get my shout outs in. Shout out Belters. Shout out Koshin. Shout out Slip. All the crew.
Yeah.
Lily. You know,
because they all need the shout outs on Chat and Breeze, don't they? They all need the shout outs. Half of them will have their own fucking episodes.
I want to see. Yeah, it's true. I want to show. You've got to get Slip on here.
I want to. I've heard he used to play guitar in a band or something.
He did.
I want to get him on to talk about that.
Charlie, if you're watching this.
Yeah, this is an open call out.
This is an open call out for
You're
Slip.
on my list. I have a list and you are on it. So
He'd be good. Like, just shout out everybody that's kind of supported me through all this mad journey and like continue to. And yeah, let's just see where it fucking goes, man. Let's keep it rolling.
Thank you very much, Longeez.
No worries.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was easy. That was fucking easy.
Wow, you've made it to the end of Chatting Breeze. How dare you? Don't know why I said how dare you. I'm going to keep this short because I realised that as soon as I start talking on this outro, people probably just stop listening anyway. So I could literally say anything I want now, and I guarantee that there's not a single person that's going to hear this. Not that that really changes what I say. Yeah, patreon.com/belters for episodes a week early and free music. Make sure to give us a like wherever you are listening to this because I am a fucking bag. And yeah, see you guys next week. Big up for listening as always. Bye bye.